Okay, once you've got your drawing, you need to start to add colour, and as you'll see, I've started to do some onto this. I've added the green by pressing very, very hard, so you get a nice flat colour. If you shade lightly, you will end up with quite a lot of whites, and it's not as bright or vivid as Hundertwasser, so you want to press really, really hard. If you've got felt tips, you could use felt tips as well, which are very rich. And I'm extending that colour of the landscape into my building because I want the connection of the building with the land, and I'm bringing it across and down and through and then out the other side, and I've sort of brought it into the face. I've then taken a red and started to add red to the building. Now when I'm adding red, because it's such a bright vivid colour, I'm thinking about the whole of the composition. So if I'm adding red here, I'm adding a little bit of red here through and then down into the trees, because I'm trying to make a unity through the picture. It just helps tie things together nicely. I've brought the red out of this through and round and down and then into the lips of my face, and I will actually add a little bit more into the top there, and then I'll probably take that red this side of the green and then out. So I'm just using coloured pencils here, but I'm pressing incredibly hard to get that rich colour and going back over my lines. But if you have felt tips will work just as well, because they will be a nice rich colour, which is what you want for Hundertwasser. Can you see here where I haven't pressed hard? It's got less of the quality that I want. This is nice and hard and this is less quality. So I would have to go back over this area, pressing incredibly hard to get rid of those little white marks and make that rich. Same with this colour here. Too many white areas, aren't there? So I'll have to get that colour again and do the same with that and just get rid of those white marks. Obviously, if you have felt tips and you do this, you won't have that issue because you'll just be able to go. The key to felt tips, though, is that you shade in one direction. You don't keep going back and forth, because you'll end up with lots of textures with felt tips. So when you add your felt tip, you just want to go in one direction. Can you see when I'm not pressing hard, we get this problem with the paper? Okay, so my trees in the foreground. Remember, we're using that lollipop stick look of his trees and just bringing that nature in. And you just build your picture up. I feel we need to add some blue, so I've got blue in the trees, and as a consequence, I'm going to introduce some blue into my building. So I'm just trying to decide. I think it might sit quite nicely next to the green and the orange here. So I'll start to put that on. Again, if I'm doing it lightly, I am not going to have that rich, intense colour. So I'm going to go back over it, applying more pressure to bring that rich colour in. And I'm going to take it and extend it just lightly into here. And just bring it up there. Not a thick line now, making it thinner in this part of my house. Bring it down that side and then out. And I might take it into the nostrils and then extend it out again. I think what I'll do is I will bring it into my eye here. I might bring it in as the iris part of the eye. So I'll just start to think about how I can make that work for me as eyes. Start to bring it in there, and then I will extend using the tip, because when you're using the side, it gets too fat. So I'm just going to take a bit onto the tip to make a thinner line. And you just build up your house in this way. So the key thing I'm looking for is how you bring your building into the land through a few colours that are either threading